At first, he was like, presented himself pretty well.
I mean, they'd known each other for so long, I felt like we all knew him, really.
I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna f***ing murder her. F***ing little...
I think I always had a gut feeling, and I should have listened.
It's still a struggle because I have a piece of me missing.
Mom, say hi. Mom, say hi to the camera.
Ashley was a dream child. Very self-sufficient, learned everything without me showing her.
She was always happy and fun and full of life. Yeah, we've always been friends. We were sisters, so. You look beautiful. Mom, look.
She was my lion. She was fierce, loyal, always wanting to stick up for her sister, her friends. I think probably, like most girls, 10, 11, 12, the interest, like, oh, he's cute, and I'd hear them giggling.
I became aware of Jack when we were about 12 years old in grade 8, and that he was from the UK, and that he was just like the nicest guy ever, and she thought he was cute, and I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Interesting choice.
So I did speak to Jack, and yeah, he was young too at the time. And then it kind of developed into, I knew she had a crush on him, but it wasn't serious, I don't think, until I'd say about 15, 16. I did have some concerns, but I honestly didn't think they'd ever meet.
I first spoke to him when they had had some sort of falling out. He had messaged me to ask me to talk to Ashley, to get her attention, to like speak to him or get his message across to her.
So they didn't talk all the time. So when he had a relationship or she did, I know they didn't speak.
He would get like frustrated over the littlest things. Like if she had been talking to another guy, whether it was a friend or somebody that was maybe in her family and he didn't know who it was, like he would get quite short-tempered with her and get mad about it.
Feel my temper coming back. This thing on my lip. I'm gonna this thing on my lip. It's driving me crazy. I'm so ill. It's because of that friend. I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna murder her. Little.
It was honestly awful. Like, and at the moment we thought this guy is just nuts. And so I didn't really think much of it afterwards because, you know, again, like what is this guy actually gonna do, or he's not here.
It always went back to Jack. Everything, every guy they were never him. And vice versa with him, with her.
I just miss you so much, Dad. I love you so much. I miss you. I'm going to England soon. I'm so fucking excited. You have no idea.
And I said, text me when you get to Calgary for the transfer so I know that you made it to there, and then just text me along the way. And she said, okay, and she kissed my head and said, I love you, and I said, I love you. Did I think they'd work or be madly in love or last forever, fairy tale? No, but I thought, well, I guess you'll have to learn.
My stomach sank. I don't know why that came over me, but I had this gut feeling that I just knew something bad was going to happen.
She messaged me as soon as she got off. They were together, and she kind of held her phone up and they did a smiley face, and yeah, they were hugging. And then she was texting me on the ride home, my God, he's so nice. And he, you know, so I was happy that it went good the first meeting.
He had told me and my mom on FaceTime before she left, I'll protect her and I'll guard her with my life.
I tried to give her space, but we would talk every couple days, every day if she wanted, and she would show me, yeah, look at the cobble streets. Everything's like it said, look at this old building, Mom. In my mind, if it was gonna be bad, it would be the first week. Like if there wasn't a connection, then we would just fly her home and we'll get her over him, finally.
Well, I had received some videos from her on Snapchat, you know, showing that they were hanging out and they seemed happy and she was smiling.
And everything into December was good. At Christmas, he bought a tree and got her the cat. She loves cats, so she was excited. So it all seemed rosy at first, I guess. And then I had heard from Haley that they weren't getting along, not to the extent I didn't know, but I brought it up to her and she shut me down.
I personally felt like she looked a little different. Like I felt there was something kind of quite not right.
Ashley called me right away. He took a bunch of pills of his like prescribed medication, and he took like the whole bottle, and then like she was freaking out. And then that's when like she called the police or like the ambulance, and they came and got him.
So I was like, well, do you want to come home? She's like, well, no, I love him. I'm going to get him through this.
I just thought that was real, like a lot for her to have on her plate, to take care of someone when she's only 19.
In January, I started to hear from her less. I think when things were starting to go south for her, she reached out to the church because she loves the Mormon religion, but I really think she was looking for an outlet of support while she was there.
We met her in a park and we just talked more about church, and we invited her to come back with us because it'd been a while since she'd come.
He like started to say like, I don't really want you to be on TikTok all day, or like, I don't want you to be on Snapchat all day. So like she deleted her TikTok.
We had been texting and she had said, be careful what you say. You know, he's watching what we're saying.
She called me and she was like screaming and crying, and she was like, Jack just threw a glass at my head. I started crying and I told her like, you need to come home. We were on FaceTime, and Jack had started throwing objects at her head, throwing candles and like remotes, and he was like screaming through his like teeth, and he was like spitting and like throwing stuff. It was like nighttime here, like 12 at night, my time. Yeah, and then we were like FaceTiming. We were just like talking, and then all of a sudden he just like literally started like running at her, and he like pushed her down and started punching her in the head. And then she dropped the phone. And I could see her getting punched in the head, and I said, I'm hanging up. I said, I'm calling to get help.
Haley called me and told me everything. He just beat her up in front of me, like I said, okay, so I called her and I said, we're gonna book you a flight. Okay, you're coming home. And I looked and he was there too, and I said, that's enough. I'm done. So I don't know what's going on, but this is over and you're coming home.
Then we all agreed, and she got a flight. I think it was for like 3 days after. But we had to do it that way because they had a COVID test. So we had to wait because she had to get this stupid freaking COVID test. So she couldn't just get on the plane and go.
It was like 2 in the morning, I think, our time. And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna catch a couple hours sleep because I hadn't slept yet. I said, we'll call you in a couple hours.
And then I went to sleep. And like the last time I got a phone call was like at 3:30 a.m. And it was like Ashley calling for help, but I was sleeping.
But I had a message from 3:30 a.m. saying, hey, it's Ashley, help, I need you to contact these sister missionaries in the UK. Tell them to contact me. They'll know how to help me. Like, they know like what's going on.
We had saw that there was a bunch of texts from a Facebook account that neither of us were friends with, but all the messages said like, hey, it's Ashley, I need your help. It's an emergency, like get in contact with me, please. Like get in contact, it's an emergency. This is my address, come pick me up. Like please, I'm in danger. We weren't really sure what to do, so we tried calling the account and nothing happened. Got a text back and it was like, I'm fine, everything's good. I just needed a COVID test. We're like, this is super weird. That cannot be what is happening.
Haley woke up.
I got a message from Tiana in the morning saying that Ashley had messaged her.
We got a hold of one of her Mormon friends there in England to go to the house.
We head over to Ashley's house and we're there. And we're knocking on the door, we're calling the accounts, we're telling her like, come outside, we're here. We didn't get any answer.
She's like, I can hear them in there, I can hear something in there, and I'm like, but they're not answering. I'm like, hey, call 999. It's kind of a blur that whole morning. I think it was like an hour or 45 minutes. It seemed like a long time, waiting and waiting to hear something. And then Haley talked to the neighbor.
I said, what happened to Ashley? And she said, Ashley's been stabbed to death.
I didn't believe it because I couldn't see her. So it was really hard for me I kept thinking that she was gonna call, but she never called. Next couple of days are just kind of a blur. And then I said, I can't travel, so her dad said, I'll go. So they headed to England because I had to get her body home. And I needed to see her to know it was her.
Like, I didn't feel like it was real until like I seen her body. And then that's like kind of like when it like hit me. I was like, holy shit. And then like I just started crying.
I knew it was her. She looked a little different. It was her. Looking back, I think I always had a gut feeling, and I should have listened as a mom. I got into her Snapchat, and that's the only thing he didn't delete. I found the bruises that she had filmed.
I think this is one of the worst murder cases I've dealt with. Not only did he stab Ashley numerous times, he also strangled her.
At first, I heard stab wound to the chest was on the autopsy of how she died. So I'm thinking 1 or 2. And then I'm hearing 50. And then I'm hearing 90 stab wounds. And then I'm hearing it's probably close to 100, but stop counting after 90. So you can imagine, it's a lot to take in.
The strangulation mark suggested either the use of what's called a soft ligature, so something like a scarf, but not something as substantial as a rope, or manual strangulation.
He was a totally, completely different guy. Like, we had no idea who he really was until, like, the court had happened, and then we had found out, like, that he was, like, a stalker, and that, like, he was, like, a totally different dude.
The police recovered his phone when they searched the house, and they found on it the video clips of him talking to camera with Ashley's body next to him.
Yeah, he took a video message of himself with my sister's body and was asking me to forgive him. And he was saying, Haley, I killed your sister, and stuff like that. And then, like, I don't know, I just thought, like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm swearing, but it's just like, I couldn't believe that.
I wanted to come to England to ensure that we had justice, and I did it for Ashley. We went to the court and we met with her attorney, like, separately before. And then we went in, and that's the first time I seen him in person. And I stared at him a little, and he just kept staring at me. It was hard to see him.
The sentencing judge was Mr. Justice Murray. He described Jack Sepple as a dangerous individual and imposed a minimum term to serve of 23.5 years.
I was glad that there was no big trial. I was glad that he did get life. I mean, I'll be 67 by the time he's out, and I don't live there, thank God.
You should forgive people and stuff, but I'll just, like, never forgive him. I think that's, like, actual, like, bullshit.
And that's my message to anyone who has a loved one traveling, because love is blind, so they won't always do the want to ask the hard questions. Please intervene. Don't try to be nice and I should have just called the police to go get her out of there right then and there. So that's on me.
In our faith, we believe that, we will see our loved ones again. And it's definitely comforting to know.
Yeah, she's right up the road. So I'm right near the cemetery, our local cemetery, and our stone, we're together, so we'll be buried together. So I go up there almost every day, just say hi. But it's just, I said, to know she's there and that I'll be with her one day.